Hello and welcome to the Gone Buffet podcast. I'm, of course, your host, Raffi, and here with me, I'm very happy to have them here, two very special people I care very much about. I'm here with the all-new Ben.
Hola.
And the amazing Macy.
Hello.
And today, we're doing another comic. You know that thing that I like to do. It's the year 2022. It's a whole new year for the Gone Buffet. It's all different. It's all new. What's changed? Well, let me tell you. Episodes are coming out monthly now.
Nothing. I'm just kidding.
Nothing's different. We have I would stress to call it a studio.
This is a room.
Every studio is a room.
This is a room, yeah.
This is a room. We have a room for this now. And the comics that I'm talking about this year are all comics that I have physically gone out to buy and read myself. In the past, we've done episodes of just stories that I knew, but I didn't pick up at the time they came out. This is an example of a book that came out, and I was like jazzed for it.
Jazzed.
I was jazzed for it. And so to get into it, I should have prefaced this with a bit, because I had a whole bit in mind.
I thought this was going to be about... Go ahead.
I had a whole bit in mind where I was going to be like, today we're talking about everyone's favorite New York Spider person. And then one of you would be like, oh, Spider-Man. And I'd be like, no, the other one.
I was going to ask you if this is gender-swapped Spider-Man, because there was a woman on the cover in a Spider-Man suit.
No, literally, the bit was going to be, you guys were just going to keep saying Spider people names.
Patricia Parker?
Patricia Parker. I don't think that's a character. Aunt May? No.
Miles Morales.
There's been an Aunt May Spider-Man somewhere. Right?
Yeah, no, that's one of the Spider-Verse people, yeah. Yeah, Venom, Miles, Spider-Gwen, Venom. There's a lot of them.
Venom again?
Yeah, Venom again. Yeah. Did I say Venom already?
Yeah.
Damn it. The other Venom.
Yeah.
The red Venom.
Carnage.
Yeah, no, I like disrespectfully referring to him as red Venom. like how Luigi's Green Mario.
Yeah.
But we're talking about Silk. Silk is a comic that came out in 2014. There is some work we got to do before we get into this book in particular.
Oh, work.
No, I hate work.
No.
It's our day off.
No one said to be work here. Alright, so... Okay, how do I start with this? So in 2014, Dan Slott was writing the Amazing Spider-Man book.
Good for him.
He had a little bit of a controversial run, but otherwise people liked his stuff. And he felt that there was a lack of Asian American characters in Spider-Man comics. And so he created like 3 of them in his time writing for Spider-Man. And the third one he created was Silk. Silk is Korean American. She actually didn't first appear in a Spider-Man book. She first appeared during an event called Original Sin.
Oh.
How original.
Where the Watcher got his eye ripped out.
Oh.
And then his eye exploded.
Yummy.
And then his eye revealed secrets to the Marvel characters.
Because that makes sense.
Yeah, because all your knowledge is
stored in your
eyeball.
eye. Yeah, specifically your left eye. Yeah. So his eye explodes. Spider-Man's nearby doing whatever the hell he's doing. He's like, I guess I'm involved in this. Oh god, eye secrets! And he learns that the spider that bit him bit someone else after him.
Stupid spider.
So he looks into it, and he researches, because he met this character named Ezekiel, and this goes back to 2001. I'm jumping around a little bit, but back in 2001, a different writer named J. Michael Straczynski.
That's a terrible name.
He did a Spider-Man story where this old man met Spider-Man, and this old man had spider powers. So Peter's like, what's your deal? And Ezekiel's like, oh, you have spider powers too, so I'm guessing you know the Spider God.
The Spider God.
And Peter's like, what? Well, excuse me? And he's like, yeah, there's a Spider God, and he gave me my spider powers, so he must have given you spider powers.
Secret religion.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And Peter's like, that's ridiculous. I was bitten by a radioactive spider.
Yep.
Which isn't ridiculous.
Yes.
So...
walk on walls. That's not crazy, though.
And Ezekiel's like, well, listen, buddy, I gotta put you in a bunker. Peter's like, again? Why? He's like, well, because there's this guy coming for you. There's this vampire named Morlun who drains energy from people, but his favorite energy to drain is spider people. So get in the bunker. Peter's like,
so he's a racist.
Yeah, so he's a spider racist. So, yeah, Peter fought Morlun, dealt with that whole thing, whatever. But the point is that Ezekiel is a person who, if he meets you, and you have spider powers, he's gonna try to put you in a bunker. Alright, you just gotta, that's just part of Ezekiel's thing.
I think Ezekiel needs a nursing home.
Yeah. But, so, yeah, in Original Sin, this is back in 2014. Whoa, we're back over here now. Peter looks into Ezekiel's, like, financial stuff, and he learns about a bunker where he put a spider person. And it's the spider person that was bitten by the same spider that bit Peter.
That he was looking for.
Yeah, and this was Cindy Moon. Cindy Moon. So yeah, they introduced her in Original Sin, and then later she showed up in the Amazing Spider-Man book. And when she showed up from the bunker, she'd been in the bunker for 10 years. So when she was like 17 in high school, she was bit by the spider.
So she was a teenager. Like Peter Parker.
Like Peter. She was actually in his class. In fact, they don't bring it up, but in the MCU, Tom Holland Spider-Man, one of his classmates is Cindy Moon.
How do you know that?
I looked it up.
Oh.
I didn't know about it either until I looked up stuff about Silk. But yeah, so in the Amazing Spider-Man book...
They brought that in, and just in case they ran out of content, they needed something...
Well, allegedly, we all know how Sony is. Allegedly, Sony is going to be working on a Silk TV show.
Of course.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. So in Spider-Man's book, he finds Cindy, lets her out of the bunker. Her powers are a little bit different from Spider-Man's. She's not as strong as him, but she's faster than him. And she can make webbing from her fingertips.
Ugh.
Ew.
Ugh.
Oh, that's
So
like Toby.
That's what
But yeah, she gets out of the bunker. She makes her costume out of silk, and
that's why she's called Silk.
yeah. And the other thing too, because
cool.
Either because of the Spider God, or because they were bitten by the same spider, when Peter and Cindy were around each other, they wouldn't be able to resist each other. Like
they want to make out?
Like animals in heat.
Oh.
Ew.
Yeah. Peter's roommate had to literally spray them with a water bottle anytime they were near each other to get them from, stop them from touching each other at all.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And it's weird, too, because, Cindy spent 10 years in a bunker, hasn't had any human interaction in 10 years, and the first person she meets that she gets, she gets out and she meets, is, someone that she physically can't stop touching, which is, weird for her.
Yeah.
It's it's a weird border, and it's why I wasn't really interested in Silk for the longest time until she got this book. Because to me it was oh, Silk, you mean Spider-Man's
She's a horny
She's just a horny little spider girl, and I wasn't really into that. But yeah, in 2015, after Spider-Verse, Robbie Thompson got to write the Silk book. The only thing Robbie Thompson has done before comics is he actually was a writer on Supernatural.
Oh, I used to watch that.
Yeah. So, the other reason I wanted to buy this book when it came out was, I was excited to get a Silk book where she wasn't just macking on Spider-Man the whole time. But, Bennett, you looked through this. I really like the art in this book.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, I was really into the art. It's by Stacey Lee, and it's the reason I picked it up. Because it's I would say kind of modern Disney.
Yeah.
Everyone's got big round eyes. Everything's kind of expressive. The action's done really well. They do blur lines really well in the book. And so they gave Silk this book, and they kind of in the first issue they established because it's weird too, right? This is something that pisses me off to no end. So she gets her own book, and it lasts for 7 issues, and then this 2015 event called Secret Wars happens, and we'll talk about that later. But with comic book events, sometimes they interrupt other books. So, if you're reading Spider-Man and there's an event happening in New York, like Secret Invasion, where Skrulls show up and replace people, and you're reading Spider-Man, you're going to have to just bite the bullet and get through this story arc, where, whatever Spider-Man's doing is interrupted by Skrull stuff. Right?
Yeah.
And I know that would annoy Macy as well, because...
Hey, you know what annoys me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ads in the middle of the comic books.
I'm reading over here. My immersion's broken.
I'm trying to look through this. I don't want to see no ads for Hulk and the Agents of Smash. That's not what I'm reading about.
Fuck Hulk.
Fuck Hulk. Don't tell him we said that.
Yeah, don't tell him.
Don't tell him we said that. I'll get pissed off. So, yeah, what would piss anyone off here is that... So that happens, right? Issue 7 is a tie-in issue. And then, because of the events of Secret Wars, they renumber the books. So if you want to read Silk from the beginning, you have to specifically look for Silk number 1 from 2014, not to be confused with Silk number 1 from 2015.
Oh god.
Yeah.
This is 2014 one over here?
Yes. It's in like the order it should be. So if Secret Wars never happened, that would just be, and they treat it like issue 8. They don't treat it like a new number 1. So it's just like it's confusing, and it's gonna upset. It's gonna confuse people that are trying to get into the book.
Will it continue after that?
Yeah, no. After issue 7, the new number 1 continues after issue 7. Like
I mean, like, is there an issue 2 after issue?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like when you look it up, it's 2 different runs, but it's same writer, same story. Nothing's really changed. It's just the numbers.
That's weird.
Yeah, and that's a frustrating thing too. Like thank goodness that they kept the writer that they did, because a lot of time with comic books, you'll be reading Spider-Man and it'll be like issue 1 through like 30, and you're really liking the story, and like the art changes every now and again, but the writer's consistent, the story's good, that whole thing. And then you'll read issue 31, and it'll be like, oh, I recognize Spider-Man, and then nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the story's completely different, all the characters are different, and it's because some other writer picked up the book and didn't pay attention to what the last guy did.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, so thankfully Silk has the same person all the way through writing it.
That's good.
Yeah. So, in Silk's book, when we open up, like, she's out on her own in New York. She has a new costume, which is really cool. And she's working for the Fact Channel, which is kind of like Fox News. But the person in, like, her boss at the Fact Channel is J. Jonah Jameson.
Okay, so it's not the Daily Bugle.
No. So, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Jonah went from being the head, like the chief editor or whatever, of the Daily Bugle newspaper, to being mayor of New York, and then he got to the Fact Channel. Yeah.
A little jump around.
Yeah, and like what's funny is, so Jonah kind of treated Peter like crap when Peter used to work for him. He's like pretty cool to Cindy. Like, he treats her pretty well. And he also doesn't have a problem with Silk either. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Spider Menace.
yeah. But what's really fun about Silk, what's really kind of appealing, is that because she was locked in a bunker for 10 years, she's kind of like out of time. Kind of like in a Captain America sort of way.
Yeah.
Because when she works for the Fact Channel, everyone's taking notes on their phones or their iPads, whatever. She's writing down notes.
How long was she in the bunker again?
10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and like they don't specifically put dates or times to anything, but when she was bitten by the spider, she was 17. A week later, she would have been 18.
Sucks.
Then she's locked in a bunker for 10 years, so she's about 28.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's a lot of time for like technology to advance.
Right, and it's like if they wanted this book to be like, oh, you could read it at any time, they wouldn't put a Pokemon reference on page 2.
They put a Pokemon reference?
Yeah, the first page, she's fighting this dude called Dragonclaw.
Yeah.
And she goes, seriously? Sounds like a Pokemon. Is Pokemon still a thing? I'm asking for a friend. Thing. But, like, point is that she makes a Pokemon reference, which already kind of puts her at a specific point in time. But she takes notes with a pen and paper. And J. Jonah Jameson likes that. He's like, yeah, that's what I like, old school. None of this
paper.
Yeah, none of this newfangled iPad, whatchamacallit. Yeah. I like your style, Analog. He calls her Analog throughout the book.
Oh my god.
But he's really fun in this book. And Silk, her thing is, I'm going to be a superhero, but I'm also going to find my family. Right? Because she was locked in a bunker for 10 years, gets out, goes to her old house. There's like different people there. And when she looks them up online, she can't find her mom, her dad, or her brother.
Oh no.
That sucks.
Yeah, and it's her younger brother too. And when she's doing this research and working for J. Jonah Jameson and stuff, she's talking about how easy it is to do this news job because outside of her powers, she has like a perfect memory. Like she can remember almost anything.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout the books, we get flashbacks to her life before the bunker. And she says that the problem with having a perfect memory is that you remember every conversation you had. And the last conversation she had with her mother was an argument. She wanted to go on this date. And she didn't tell her mom that she was already in a relationship with this guy named Hector.
Yeah.
And her mom gets all pissy because she wants her to focus on her studies and everything. And her mom is like, you're going to go to that science fair thing for extra credit. The science fair that the spider is at.
Okay.
And, she was also...
So it's her mother's fault.
It's her mom's fault. Yeah, exactly.
How dare her.
Damn it, Mom. Now I'm a spider person. I'll never be the same. Now I got vampires chasing after me, Mom. Thanks. So, she had this argument with her mom, and it ended with her saying, like, I hate you to her mom. And because of the perfect memory, she can't, like, that's the last conversation she had with her mom.
That's awful.
Because, you know, she skips out on this date to go to the science fair, and her date shows up there. And was like he had told her, hey, I can't go, my mom's making me go to this stupid science fair. And so he goes along with her. And he gives her this little necklace with a moon on it around her ankle. Because, you know, her name's Cindy Moon, so, like, yeah.
How cool are they?
Yeah, she calls him a cornball. So, she goes to the science fair, spider bites her, Ezekiel shows up, like, you know, a couple days later, because her parents come into the room, and she's like, no, don't come in, there's silk everywhere, because she can't control it.
Sounds like Elsa.
Yeah, no, it's like Elsa. Except you can't build a snowman out of silk.
I mean, you could try.
You could try, yeah. I mean, she probably could. She made a whole costume out of silk. That's the cool thing, too. Her powers let her...
Wait, her costume...
Is, like... She can change her costume into normal clothes.
Oh.
And then back to a costume. Because it's all silk, and she controls it. Oh, she also is, like... I don't know if it's part of her costume, or if she solidifies the silk on her fingers, but she can make her hands into, like, claws. Scratch people. Yeah.
So she's like the Black Cat.
Yeah, no, keep that in mind. So, what was the bit? Okay, so yeah, she remembers everything. She had gone to the science fair, spider bites her, she's getting silk all over the room. Ezekiel shows up, and he's like, hey, your daughter's got to go in a bunker. And they go along with it. So,
okay.
She also, there's another flashback where she's sitting down with Hector and being like, yeah, no, my parents are moving to France.
Oh, no.
Like, that's her excuse. He's like, oh, we could do long distance. And she's like, no, that would be really hard for you.
I don't want to talk to you while I'm in France.
Yeah, but it's really tough because she has to, like, lie and break his heart and then run off. It's real tough.
Bunker.
Yeah, real bunker bummer. When you think
Bunker bummer.
Bunker bummer. So, while she's working at the Fact Channel, she's trying to find her family. And eventually J. Jonah Jameson finds out that she's, like in her off time looking into these people. And she explains everything to him aside from the spider people bunker stuff, like just the family stuff. And so throughout the book, J. Jonah Jameson also helps her look for her family.
What a nice guy.
What a nice guy who wants pictures of Spider-Man. But yeah, so she fights this guy named Dragonclaw. Whatever, he gets away. Because her spider sense keeps freaking out. And she doesn't know why. Like, it's going off too much. So she can't focus. And in the first issue, she's actually rescued by Spider-Man. And it's funny, because he picks her up and he's making, like, jokes and stuff. And she's like, Peter, put me down somewhere.
Yeah.
So...
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Do what I want.
This is my book. Get out of here.
Yeah, it can't be another Spider-Woman thing without the actual Spider-Man.
Yeah. Like, hey, listen, I got you this book. So they're sitting down on a roof. And she says that it's really awkward. Because they're not together anymore, but she wants to be with him because of her weird spider impulseness.
God.
Yeah, so it's weird.
Gross.
It's real gross and icky. And she goes, when she went to work, because she's also like a straight to the point kind of person, so when she goes to work, she's got these two coworkers who are both women, and one of them is like, hey, do you want to see this movie later? Like, the three of us can go see a movie. And Cindy is like, God, Janet, if you just want to take Carol... I know you want to date Carol. Just go together. And Carol's like, you want to go out with me? And they get together. So Cindy hooks up her two coworkers just by being like, I don't want to see this movie. Just go together.
Yeah.
And then later when Cindy gets back to her apartment, she's like... Her roommate is one of her coworkers. She can hear them making out in the other room.
Ugh.
And Cindy's like, okay, I can't live here.
How loud do you make out?
What she's saying? So literally the line is like... Oh, you should have asked me out sooner. Like, in the other room. And he's like, okay, no. Mm-mm. And, like, you know, Cindy's been locked in a bunker, so she doesn't have a lot of stuff. So she packs her bag and leaves. She writes a note being like, yeah, thanks for letting me crash on your couch. Yeah, you're too loud. Enjoy.
Too loud. You guys make out too loud.
You're going to need room for your new roommate.
It's like two bears wrestling over a piece of chicken.
Oh my God, what are they doing in there?
What the fuck is happening?
They're both
She
bear.
walks in, they're both fully clothed.
They're both in bear costumes. What? Get out. This is the sex thing. Get out of here. Well, okay. Whoa.
We're making a movie. Oh, that kind of movie.
Oh, that kind of movie. Oh, this is weird. I'm going back in the bunker. And she does. She goes back to the bunker and uses it as like an apartment, basically.
Yeah.
And it's weird because, like, she was locked there for so long. It's like she got comfortable with it, so she's like okay being back there. And she does that like detective thing where she puts pictures on the wall and like strings them together.
Yeah.
In issue 2, she deals with a Hydra robot. It's like a giant head with tentacles and stuff.
I feel like Hydra is just fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, they
Now,
love.
I'm looking through this book. Right?
Yeah, he's looking.
And I'm noticing, the Spider-Man's Peter Parker costume, and I'm not a big fan of it.
She looks like...
What costume?
The one that Peter has in this issue.
What? He just looks like Spider-Man.
Yeah, but like it's...
He's drawn really lanky.
She looks like
The
a fighter
eyes
man.
are really, really big.
Yeah.
But no, these are more ovally, you know? They're like
Ovally.
bug eyes. I guess he's a bug.
He's, technically speaking, spiders aren't bugs.
What do you mean?
Arachnids aren't insects.
There's no way. That can't be
Let's
true.
look it up. I'm
Bullshit.
telling you.
Continue.
Alright, so yeah,
Oh,
she
believing.
fights. She fights this skull with tentacles coming out of it. It's just a random ass Hydra robot that escaped its captivity.
Whatever.
She pulls a Houdini when she's fighting this like robot with tentacle things. She slips through its bindings and cuts it apart with her claws. It's really cool. Look at this. She's going to town on this robot.
Fuck that rope. I mean, fuck it up.
Fuck that robot. You say that and you look down the hall and Vision's just like... he's like sad and crying. So she crawls out of the sewer after fighting this robot.
Yeah, as people do.
And who should be behind her but Hector,
Oh,
her old boyfriend.
why would Hector be in the sewer?
Stalker.
Well, he wasn't in the sewer. He was
Oh.
walking around. She
Oh.
came out... Like, literally, he's walking around. She's crawling out of the sewer.
He's just in the sewer, like...
Hey, Cindy!
Hey, how's it
Hey!
going?
Down here!
Help!
He's like a nunchucks and a thing of pizza. Like, what's up? No, it's a Ninja Turtle. It's a sex thing. Like the bear people.
I was exploring.
It's exploring. God, there's just so much of the city, you know?
Yeah.
You think you've seen it all, and then you go underground. You'll never believe what people flush down here, and then the
It's like a
alligator,
whole other
and then the
city.
alligator bites them and just drags them into the lizard shows
Yeah, I
up.
was just gonna say the lizard's fucking just sitting down there.
We're gonna turn you into a lizard. Come here.
Join me, my boy.
God, isn't that scary? To live in the Marvel Universe, live in New York City, and know that there's a possibility you might be turned into a lizard one day?
That is
I don't want
to
to
live
be a lizard.
anywhere with superheroes or
I
in
know.
that type of universe must be awful.
You gotta like live in like Arkansas or something just to
You gotta
avoid
live
it
somewhere
all.
like fucking nowhere.
Arkansas or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, she crawls out of the sewer, sees her ex-boyfriend, is like, oh, this is the worst, I smell so bad. And they're talking, they're hitting it off. And then before they can hit off anymore, Hector's fiance shows up.
Oh.
Yep. And like it's funny, when they meet, there's like this little panel of Cindy like there's like a little like glass breaking as she's like internally
Yeah.
screaming. There's cameras in the bunker that she doesn't know about.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is there a shower in the bunker?
I guess so, because she looks like she walked out of a shower, and she was stuck there for 10 years. She would smell so bad. If she was locked in this bunker for 10 years
10
and had no
years.
shower. Yeah.
What do you do for 10 years is in a bunker?
I guess go crazy.
Yeah.
I guess go crazy.
I mean, can't you die from like just...
I think there's food in it.
No, I mean like, just like mentally, you know?
Probably.
Probably. I don't know what she did to stay sane. I know Ezekiel left her like videos and stuff.
Well, how many times can you watch the same video, you know?
He's got like VCR tapes like here. I taped over America's Funniest Home Videos. You can have that. What else do I got? I got Beauty and the
Do you have like a
Beast. You
computer
like that?
or something? You can go on Google or...
I don't know. I don't think she had any internet access. Otherwise, she'd be able to catch up with the rest of the world.
She get mail?
I don't think she got mail.
Dude,
I think her identity was wiped off the face of the earth.
Sucks to suck.
maybe there's just like a big catalog of like movies.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking. I think Ezekiel just rolled in his DVD collection.
Yeah.
I have two of the Dark Knights. I hope you don't mind. I have two of them. This one's a collector's edition. It's got a little bit more in it.
This one's an extended scope.
But so earlier when she fought Dragonclaw, she beat the crap out of him, and
As people do.
he failed to rob this bank that he was going to rob, and he goes back to his employer, who is Black Cat. Now Black Cat, I know you probably know a little bit about her.
Yes.
You just heard about her. Black Cat is typically a thief. At this point in time, Black Cat is like a crime boss. She took over from the Kingpin.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yep. So she's a crime boss, and she gave Dragonclaw his suit and stuff. And she sends him back to the person that made the suit. Oh, God. I think he's called the Repairman. The Repairman is like, all right, I'm going to rebuild your Dragonclaw suit. And he's like, okay. And he's like, oh. And he's like reading the paper. And Repairman's like, looks like you're getting the full treatment. And Dragonclaw is like, what does that mean?
What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
They turn him into an actual dragon man.
Oh.
Like, he gets a full dragon neck suit. What is it? Dragonclaw shows up. He's an actual dragon man now. She's losing her patience and kicking the crap out of him. And she's also thinking about Ezekiel, because Ezekiel taught her how to fight and use her powers.
Yeah.
And, like, nearly got himself killed doing that, because she's so... It's like Cindy has, like, a violent streak, and it might be because she was in the bunker for so long.
I would be pretty violent if I was...
Right. So she nearly kills Dragonclaw, and he's, like, broken and he's against the wall. He's like, no, please stop hitting me.
I feel like if I lived in a bunker for 10 years and then got out, I feel like it wouldn't matter what I did. You know?
Yeah. I wouldn't stay...
If it's illegal...
I wouldn't stay in New York. I'd be like, I've been stuck in one place for so long, I'm just going to go everywhere. I wouldn't stay in one place. He's all beaten up, and he's just this dude named Harry.
Who's this dude named Harry?
Harry Porter. So it's almost Harry Potter, but it's not. So he's...
Who the fuck wrote this?
I don't know. Robbie Thompson.
Well, yeah.
Who wrote... I'll tell you.
I'm just a big Harry Potter fan.
So she like calms down, and like she sits down with him against the wall. Like, they're just sitting there talking now.
Mm.
And turns out he's got a daughter, and he's doing all this crime stuff to provide for his daughter. He actually used to be a common criminal, and he was in jail for a long time, which is why he can't get a real job. So really, he's only doing this Dragonclaw stuff because it's the only way to make money for his kid.
Oh.
Yeah. So she, helps him up, and I think she's gonna like talk to someone to get him a job. Yeah, she's gonna talk to her own boss to get him a job. Yeah, and she actually swings him to a hospital too.
Mm-hmm.
So she's doing some responsible stuff. Meantime, after she takes this guy to the hospital, Black Cat shows up.
Uh-oh.
And Black Cat fights her, and they're both really fast. And Cindy's like, this is crazy. This is just some lady in a cat suit. Why is she so fast?
So does Silk have... Because, we all know that Spider-Man has...
A spider sense?
No, not even that. Well, a spider sense and also extreme strength.
Yeah, she's strong, but she's not as strong as Spider-Man.
She's not, like superhuman strength. Because that's what, like, the spider bite did to,
Yeah.
our regular people.
She's probably, like, half as strong as Spider-Man.
Okay. That's still pretty strong.
Yeah, that's still, like,
I mean, we see a lot in, like... Because, they always say that Spider-Man pulls his punches,
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with her, is that, like, she doesn't pull her punches, because she loses her crap. She gets angry. So, Black Cat kicks Cindy's ass, and then tells her to retire, and then walks off.
Retire.
Yeah, quit being a spider person. And then, Black Cat goes back to the repairman, and tells him, I need you to make more dragon claws. So, like, her army gets, like, group of goons get, like, armor and stuff. They get, like, teched out. So that way, as Spider-Man, you can break into the warehouse and take them out stealthily in that Spider-Man PS4 game. So Cindy goes back to the bunker. She's had a long day. And Peter shows up.
Oh, no.
And she's like, God, Peter, not now. She's like, go away forever, please.
I guess he's just, like, not really helpful in this comic.
Yeah, well, he shows up, he's like, hey, Cindy, I was thinking about how your spider sense has been freaking out, so I wanted to come help you. And Cindy's, you want to help me? Go away. Forever. And he's like, I'm worried. And she's like, yeah, well, I've had a really crappy day. I've had a crappy 10 years. I can't deal with you right now, Spider-Man. And he's like, well, then it's a good thing I brought some friends. And he brings the Fantastic Four.
What the fuck?
Get them out of here. They're so ugly.
The Thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does the Human Torch look like that? It looks like fucking Johnny Bravo.
Well, because his hair has to glow like fire so that he's got fire powers.
It's not even fire, he's got died.
Well, what is it? The Invisible Woman's making her hand, like, semi-invisible, and then Reed is making his arm stretch all over here, like Mr. Incredible's stretching over here. Mr. Fantastic.
Who drew the... This is
The
straight out of
Thing?
a Disney movie.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love the art. Like, I've never seen a friendlier-looking Fantastic Four. And I like the Thing. I know he's ugly, but I like him.
He's ugly.
I
Okay.
think he's just a small Hulk.
Issue 4 sucks. The art is different.
Oh, the art is ugly.
Yes, that is from.
And there's still ads. in
And
the
there's
middle.
ads.
There's ads
There's
everywhere.
so many
Every
ads.
page.
Is that shaving cream?
Every ad.
Every-
Every
Wait,
page.
Bennett, was that shaving cream that there was an ad for?
Every.
Is that what it is?
It's sunscreen.
Oh,
SPF 50.
Avengers sunscreen.
Don't get burnt,
You
true
got
believers.
spray and you got the rub lotion.
So, yeah, the art is by Tana Ford, who substitutes Stacey Lee for that
Look
issue.
at the thing in this one.
Yeah, I know. It's the
He's
art.
like an overweight father.
I mean, he is that actually in the comics. So he has kids and is probably put on. So you can't tell if he's made a
And then
box.
Peter looks
Listen,
different.
yeah, the fact that this artist works in the industry, like for someone else, I'm sure this is really good.
The
But for
faces kind of look weird.
Yeah, like, but for me personally, I just don't like the art.
And I also think if they've does it in issue 5, does it have the same as the
Lee
other one?
no, Lee comes back.
Oh, so it's just
It's
one
just
book?
that issue.
Oh my god, that's...
Yeah,
that's
it's
nice.
also a weird issue because so Cindy is hanging out with the Fantastic Four, and Mr. Fantastic's doing some tests on her, and nothing, and like everything's normal about her. I mean, you know, she's a Spider Person, but everything else is pretty normal. And he's sitting there, and he's like, "Cindy, do you have anxiety?" And she's like, "What? No, I don't have anxiety." And he's like, "I think it might be anxiety. I think your spider sense is freaking out because you have anxiety." And she's like, "No, I don't have that." And he's also like, "Didn't you spend 10 years in a bunker? Don't you think maybe there was a side effect from that?" And she's like in denial about the anxiety stuff. And then she yells at Peter because Peter told them about Cindy and about everything going on with her. And she's like, "Don't go around telling my story to people. All right, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't
Not
do that.
cool, man.
Not cool, dude. God, I want to make out with you. I don't want. Stop it. Stop telling people stuff." So. And then Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, is like, "Hey, Cindy, you want to go out?" And Peter's like, Cindy, don't go out with him. He sucks." And she's like, "Oh, Peter, you don't want me to go out with the Human Torch? Yeah, I'll go out with him." Cucks Peter right there. But yeah, they have a date. It doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
because she only goes out with him to piss Peter off.
And plus, I mean, fucking... He's like just a one-night guy.
Yeah, Johnny Storm, he's not a commitment person.
No.
So, you can also tell this is this... I think Robbie Thompson might just like Pokemon. Because these toys that this kid is playing with are legitimately characters from Pokemon. There's like a bug catcher and a grunt.
that could be anything, Rafi.
That could be anything. I'll make sure to put it up so people see. Yeah, and this issue 5 is the one where J. Jonah Jameson starts helping her. And she's swinging, and, like, what is it? She gets a news report that, like, there was a break-in at this house. And it's the house that Dragonclaw and his daughter live at. So she goes there, and Dragonclaw's there, and like clearly Dragonclaw fucked up so bad that Black Cat kidnapped his kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he goes there and he starts fighting her because she's like, "It's all your fault. Like, you got me into this. Because of you, Black Cat took my kid." Oh, excuse me. So they fight a little bit, but then she's like, she calms him down, and they're gonna go find his kid together. And she has to call in some help, and she calls in her sidekick, Spider-Man. She refers to him as her sidekick. Yeah, the three of them are working together, and Peter is like, "Cindy, I don't know if you know this, but Dragonclaw's a bad guy. He's a bad man. And you can't work with him, you can't trust him." And Cindy's like, "Spider-Man, how many of your villains have you actually worked with?" He's thinking about it, he's like, "Yeah, alright, that's fair." He's teamed up with Venom and Sandman and Doc Ock. Like he's teamed up with everybody.
Oh.
So yeah, they fight. The three of them fight Black Cat and her goons. There's a bit where Cindy breaks into this room and finds the kid, and she picks up the kid. And in the beginning of the book, we see the kid getting kidnapped by Black Cat.
Yeah.
And the kid is like, "Oh, are you supposed to be a kitty cat?" And like she just takes him. Takes her.
Kills the kid.
Kills the kid. Yeah, I'm a kitty cat. But she picks up the kid, and the kid is like, "That kitty cat has a butt." And Silk said, "Yeah, you said it."
Yeah.
Yeah, I know,
Damn
right?
guys?
She is a butt. Yeah. So the three of them fight Black Cat, but Black Cat has, like, her goons have, like, better technology. Alright, because Cindy tells Spider-Man and Dragonclaw to take the kid to the hospital. Like, get out of there. Spider-Man will get you out of here faster. And Spider-Man's like, "Okay, bye. I hope this doesn't nip me in the butt. Bye." And he leaves. So Silk has to fight Black Cat and the goons by herself. and they overpower her and they defeat her, and she's knocked out. And when she wakes up, she's on an operating table, and the repairman is standing over her, and she's like, you made that guy in the Pokemon costume, didn't you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I did."
Yeah, he loves Pokemon.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Just because someone mentions Pokemon doesn't mean they love it.
Oh, clearly. You're one of those Pokemans.
Pokemon.
And Repairman knows Cindy's name.
Oh.
Yeah, so he knows more than he's letting up. And he's like, "I work for the people that have your family." And she's like, "Oh my god, no. Oh no. What does this mean?" Yeah, in issue 6, she's like the hostage of the Repairman. And he's like, "You have spider powers, so like, I'm going to take your organs.
That makes sense.
And I'm going to sell them on the black market."
Like any normal person would do. Yeah.
Yeah, and we also find out in this issue that when they beat up Cindy, the Black Cat was like, "All right, cool. I'm gonna kill Cindy now. I'm gonna kill Silk." And then one of the goons like knocks Black Cat out, and she's like, "Why?" And he's like, "I don't know why. Like someone's controlling his suit."
Yeah.
And then, like the building like one of the goons pick up Cindy, run out. They're like, "I don't know why we're doing this. Bye." Like they can't control themselves. And Black Cat gets out just as the building explodes. So the repairman betrayed Black Cat to get Silk. Right? So she wakes up, and yeah, he's like, I'm gonna take your organs, kid. Sound good?
That sucks.
Just duh.
And she's like, okay, I've been doing this for long enough to know that if he's a bad guy, he'll want to keep talking, which will distract him. So she's like, "So, what did you do? Like, do you know where my family is?" And he's like, "What? No, I don't know about your family.
Fuck about your family.
I don't give a fuck. But the people who have them have really deep pockets. So,
yeah,
that's all that matters to me."
A lot of stuff in their pockets.
Yeah, they do. So Cindy, she has to crack her own fingers.
Ow.
To, like, get out of the
like
bindings.
break her own fingers?
Yeah, break her own fingers. And then, like, she has to punch him with the broken fingers.
Ugh.
Oh, God. Like, it hurts like hell.
Hurts me more. That's the exact definition of this hurts me more than it hurts you.
And what does he say? He says, like, the people I'll auction you off to, Hydra, AIM, whoever coughs up the most money, I'll get a bunch of cash from them. And she's like, "I'm not for sale," and just punches him with a broken hand.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see a live action Silk. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, no, she's fun. So she, like, freaks out and, like, throws him across the room. And she throws him so hard it breaks one of the support columns to the building.
Oh, wow.
That's also when Black Cat shows up. So the two of them survive, like, the building crashing. And then they go back to fighting. And,
Pow pow.
pow pow. There's this bit where the Black Cat knocks Silk out of a window and then grabs her by her hair and holds her there over, like, she's hanging there by her hair.
Yeah.
And Black Cat's like, "Hi, I got you now. I got you by your hair."
Like the movie Tangled.
Like the movie Tangled, they have you by your hair. Your magic hair that gives you all your silk
She's already in a
powers.
first story window.
Yeah, she's like 3 feet off the ground. Oh no!
What am I gonna do?
So, you know that trend on TikTok where people cut their own hair without really thinking about it?
No.
They just take scissors and they just cut
No, you're on a different side of TikTok.
Okay, alright. So, I was gonna make a joke about it, but Silk uses her claws to cut her hair to get herself loose.
Oh, so now she's short hair?
Yeah, and that's cool because in the rest of the books she has short hair.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah, Silk, she cuts her hair, she's falling, and she does this cool move where she webs a boxing glove over her fist, and then she webs Black Cat and then pulls her down. And then, like, she's going up as Black Cat is coming down. And, like, Black Cat hits, like, you see this side bit here, it's like bam, bam, bam. She's, like, hitting every
fucking fire escape.
Yeah, every fire escape.
That looks painful.
And then Silk catches
Black
her.
Cat's just a human, right? Like, she doesn't really have powers.
In the past, she had luck powers.
I
don't... Like, she got... Okay.
Like Lady Luck from DC?
She got surgery, and it gave her luck powers.
The fuck? Who writes these characters?
But there's like a bungee bit where like Black Cat hits the railing, is on there, the web like pulls, and Cindy springs right back up. Like she almost like falls in a car and then whoop goes back up.
Oh, so it's like a fuck. What are those?
Like a slingshot.
Slingshot.
Yeah, she slingshots up, and then just punches Black Cat with this Big spider mitt.
That's awful.
I don't like that it's full page.
At what point is it just like enough?
That's enough,
Like, I feel like
Cindy.
you've won when she fell.
He's
You
already
keep
dead.
going. She's just beating the shit out of a dead
Well,
corpse.
she survives this, though.
What the
Black Cat lands on a car.
Yeah.
And before Cindy can, like, punch her again, Black Cat sneaks off.
With 45 broken bones, yeah.
Well, she's like a cat. She has 9 lives.
Oh, okay.
That's not actually true. She's just a person.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Cindy. Sneaks away.
You know, if you were to say that to, like, other people, they'd be like, oh, okay.
Oh,
that
okay,
makes
yeah,
sense.
sure. She's got cat powers.
She's a comic book character.
Been by a radioactive cat.
Radio.
She's got 9 lives and
Or just a
always lands
regular
on her
cat.
feet.
What's a regular cat?
Bit by a regular cat. Or she's a cat that was bit by a radioactive human. Anyway,
Yeah.
So-
let's continue.
like, Cindy's tired, and Black Cat just like, I'll get you next time. Limps away. Like, legit.
Does she go to a hospital? Or?
I don't know where she...
Like, there's no way that the next day she's gonna be like fine and then fighting again. Like,
Before this fight, Black Cat also offered Silk a job. Like, she's like, sorry about the repairman betraying you, but hey, you can come work for me.
I don't understand.
And Silk's like, I'm gonna kick your ass.
So what is Black Cat's motive in this?
She's a crime boss.
She said that's it.
Well, because she had hired Dragonclaw to take money, because Dragonclaw needed this job to support his kid. And when Silk beat up Dragonclaw, he went back to Black Cat, and Black Cat's like, I spent a lot of money to get you that stupid dragon costume and make you look like an idiot, and you fucked this up, so now you're fired.
Yeah, I never really understand like crime boss's motive. Like,
Well, and
why
then
you
she
wanna
was
be
like-
the best.
And then she was like, this Silk character, she's like new, you know? If I let her keep doing this, she's gonna get better at it. But if I stop her from being a superhero now, I won't have to deal with her later. Like, she's bad for business. There's actually a bit in this comic where it's like after Spider-Man and Dragonclaw leave the warehouse, and it's just Black Cat and Silk. And Silk is like, all right, lady, what is your problem with me?
Yeah.
And Black Cat is like, you cost me money. And Silk's like, are you kidding me? That's it?
Ow.
That's it?
Yeah, I don't want money problems.
Yeah, money problems. Everyone's got them.
Black Cat's just very. She's in a lot of debt.
She's in a lot of debt. She owes a lot of money to, like, Scorpion or some shit.
Not even that, just like IRS.
They're actually, I think before this can be a loaded statement. When Dr. Octopus took over Spider-Man's body, he ratted out Black Cat to the cops. And Black Cat was arrested, and, like, they took her apartment. Everything in her apartment was stolen. Even the apartment was stolen. So she literally had nothing. And she was, like, so upset, because she didn't know Doc Ock was Spider-Man. She was so upset that Spider-Man betrayed her and, like, got her arrested and stuff that she went full tilt into crime boss territory.
What?
Yeah. And it's not like, when Peter gets his body back, he tries to explain it to her, and she's like, oh yeah, Doc Ock took over your body. Yeah, that's ridiculous. And he's like, dude, like, Norse gods exist.
Yeah.
Like,
Thor.
I've sat next to aliens at, like, work and stuff. Why are you thinking this is weird now? I was bitten by a radioactive spider,
Do you know
Black
who the fuck
Cat.
I am?
Yeah, do you know who I am? I wore a costume that
Nothing
came
is
from
crazy
space.
anymore.
Yeah, there's a talking tree in space somewhere. Why is this weird to you?
There's a fucking raccoon that speaks English.
He wears pants, Felicia. He wears pants.
And he's an expert gunsman.
Yeah, he can fix a car.
Marksman.
Whatever.
Gunsman.
He's really good at being a raccoon.
Professional.
Raccoon. Do you think if Rocket Raccoon got radioactive and he bit someone...
He already is radioactive.
Radioactive? That's my favorite Imagine Dragonclaw song.
Radioactive.
So she's in the alleyway after she had a fight with Black Cat, and like she's like trying to get a breather, and she's hurt, and she's like just like done with the day, and it's raining. She's having the worst time, and then Spider-Man shows up,
Oh, great.
and she's like, "Oh, this guy again."
he's no help in this issue.
Well, she's like, "You have the worst timing when you show up." And so Spider-Man,
He's not helpful.
well, she's like, she's talking about how like the guy that took her like knew about her parents, and like she's starting to think that her parents are dead and stuff. And Peter's like, "Don't think that. You don't know that yet." So Peter kind of like, she gets up and she's gonna walk away, but Peter goes in and like hugs her.
Then they make out aggressively. in the middle of the road.
No, thankfully it's just a friendly hug.
Oh, okay.
But they do this panel where like she gets up and he's just looking right at her ass. Like it's like I know that's not what it's supposed to be, but like
That's exactly what it is.
that's exactly what it looks like. But yeah.
It's like, damn.
Damn. And then I think at this point she also knows about the cameras in the bunker. Like the repairman told her. So she goes back to the bunker and she's like breaking everything.
I feel like, how would she not find the cameras eventually?
It was inside a wall. Like she has to crack the wall to find the camera. But when she met the Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic gave her the number to a therapist. And it's specifically a superhero therapist that keeps people's identities secret.
It's Bruce Banner.
No, it's some lady named Dr. Sinclair. It's not really a character.
Yeah.
But yeah, in issue 7, it's drawn by Tana Ford again.
Oh, great.
This one. So she goes to this therapist and explains her issues, and the therapist seems to think like, yeah, no, you have anxiety. Like there's no dodging around it. Like you can't deny it anymore. But she's still in denial about it. And like she goes after her therapy appointment, she goes to work, and Jonah is like, I found your brother. Yay! He's in like a hospital.
Oh.
Because it's like he found her brother's name. I think his name's Albert.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, he found the brother's name, but like it wasn't his name. It was like an alias. Like somebody went to a hospital and they couldn't get the person's name. The only name they got was Albert. And based on like timing and stuff, that's when they figure, okay, it has to be him. And she's going to the hospital thinking, I'm hoping it's not him. Like worst case scenario, it's him, because that would mean that he's in some kind of trouble or he's hurt or something. Because it's also like the news report said that he went there because he was in a gang or something. Like he was involved in gang violence, and he ended up at the hospital. So she's trying to get to the hospital, but the world is ending.
Well, that sucks.
That's not good.
Yeah, no, not for anyone. So, to put it lightly, during the event Secret Wars, other Earths were showing up in space, and they were getting close to our Earth. So you could be standing on the street looking up, and you can see another planet coming towards you. So the world is ending, and naturally in New York, everyone's freaking out. There's rioting, people in the streets just like running around stabbing each other. Nothing matters anymore. And she's just trying to get to the hospital, but she keeps getting distracted. She like saves this person from a fire. She stops a robbery. Like she helps this guy find his lost kid. Like she is what's the word? Burdened by responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And like you get this whole. It's like the only piece of Tana Ford's art that I really like, where it's this.
Like
whole,
I don't mind it, but
Yeah.
I wish they kept it
I like
consistent.
Right, but like you see in all these images her helping people along the way.
Yeah.
So she finds this bus that's falling into the earth,
Okay.
as you do. She can't web it up and pull it up. She's not strong enough. So she gets under the bus and tries to push it back up. And as she's doing that, she tells everyone to get out of the bus so that it's lighter to push up. But she holds it there before they can crash. And she's like, alright, last stop. Everybody out of the pool. Come on, people. I know I'm mixing my metaphors, but it's time to make like a tree and get the hell off this bus. So everyone gets off, and she tries to push the bus back, and this is an example of her not being as strong as Spider-Man, because the bus crushes her.
Oh, wow.
And she's like under the ground, she thinks she's gonna die, and she's like worried, because she's like, the last thing I was trying to do was find my brother, and if I die before I can do that, like, it's not what I want. But Dragonclaw shows up. Our good buddy Dragonclaw, the Pokemon guy. He shows up and gets her out of the rubble, and she tells him to go be with like his daughter or whatever. She swings off to the hospital, and like she's trying to ask people, "Hey, I'm looking for this kid named Albert," and they're all like, "Lady, it's the end of the world. We're really busy right now."
Yeah. I'm gonna go fuck.
I'm working.
Are you dying? Are you dying? No, then leave.
It's the last day on Earth, and I'm working.
Sorry, visiting hours we're closed currently.
Yeah. So she's running throughout the hallway, and like these doctors are just looking out the window at Earth's crashing into each other. It's just the worst day ever. And she finds her brother Albert in this room, and he recognizes her, and she recognizes him, and they hug. And as they hug, the world ends.
Aww.
Yeah. And this would be really impactful if there wasn't another issue of the book where it doesn't happen anymore.
Or an ad at the end.
Or an ad. Yeah. I'm here. I'm sorry for everything. I
like,
love you, Albert. I love you. Dr. Pepper. Go see Avengers, Age of Ultron. Own it on Blu-ray.
Own it on Blu-ray.
I see that. It's the last issue we're going to talk about. So,
we should just cancel that one out.
Yeah, so the world ends. And you're reading like, oh no. Oh, good thing they just picked it back up. Alright, yeah. We're all good, guys.
Alright.
The world actually didn't end.
Doctor Strange,
that was just
fucker.
a dream.
Doctor Strange, he did it again. I think it was actually Miles Morales that saved the universe.
How?
He gave somebody a cheeseburger. I'm not bullshitting you.
Okay.
This character who can control reality was like, I don't know if I could save the world or not. And Miles Morales is like, hey man, you want to bite of my sandwich? And he's like, your compassion has changed me, Miles Morales. I will change the universe.
Your sandwich, of course.
Silk, #1 from 2015. There's a little bit of a time jump. So her brother's still in like hospital care.
It's now the 1940s and she's fighting for rights.
Oh, that's a bit of a time jump the other way. But she's still being Silk, and she's fighting the Goblin Nation, which is like a Green Goblin gang.
So, yeah, I noticed that.
Time to die.
I really like that.
And I like that it's wearing clothes, but also just a mask.
Is that a mask? Because it looks very like a face.
No, it's a mask.
That's weird.
They don't paint their faces. But yeah, they're just wearing masks and like little hats over them. Time to die. None of them are a bit of a scientist themselves. Yeah, she's also living in a studio apartment. She got a promotion at work.
Okay.
She's the assistant of assistants.
Imagine an assistant having an assistant.
Well, now she has her own assistant, who's like this cute guy who gets
so
her coffee.
An assistant of an assistant of an assistant.
Who has an assistant?
Huh?
Yeah, and she fights these goblin guys, and I think again, I'm pretty sure Robbie Thompson is a Nintendo guy, because she calls these guys like Legend of Zelda rejects. So they steal some technology from Alchemex, which is a big company, and she stops them. She takes the briefcase, webs them up. There's this funny panel where she actually like lands on one of them. But during the fight, this like weird ghost guy helps her out.
Hi,
Ghost Rider.
Guy.
Yeah. So I'll explain his deal later, but it's like a mystery for this new like era of the book. Like this.
It's not Ghost Rider, right?
No, it's not a Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
I forget what his actual superhero name is. I think it's like the Phantom or something.
Oh, it's kind of boring.
But yeah, she fights these goblin guys. This Phantom dude helps her by like phasing through one of their gliders and making it freak out. And then as she's fighting them, she like lands on one of them. This panel down here. She's like, "Oops, sorry about that."
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. And then she takes the briefcase. And she's walking off with it, and she's approached by this agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. named Mockingbird.
Hi, Mockingbird.
And Mockingbird, who, for an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., just knows about branding, you know? She's got her own look.
She's pretty badass.
She's cool.
Yeah, she was married to Hawkeye.
Oh, okay.
It didn't work out.
Yeah. Well, I'd imagine when you use the word was.
So, she shows up, and she's like, "Hey, Silk, on behalf of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'll take that briefcase from you." And Silk's like, "Oh yeah, here you go." And then BAM! Hits her with the briefcase. And then in her monologue, she's like, Silk is like, "Okay, we're all caught up. Oh yeah, actually, there's one more thing. I'm a bad guy now."
Uh-oh.
So Silk fights Mockingbird and like escapes.
Okay.
And we see Silk take this briefcase to Black Cat because she's working for Black Cat.
Yeah, I wish this book didn't exist.
Yeah, the world should have just ended, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been better off. And Black Cat, she takes the briefcase and she's like, "Hey, the news still thinks you're a superhero. We gotta fix that." And she's like, I'm working on it. Don't worry, And Silk is doing this for the money. Like all of us, we're all doing it for the money.
Yeah, we're all doing it.
Yeah, for the money. So the reason Silk is working for Black Cat is because Black Cat can pay her the money she needs to pay Albert's medical bills because he's in the hospital because he's trying to beat an addiction. And his addiction is for the Goblin Serum.
Oh my god.
Because he was part of the Goblin Nation. And part of that is that you need to take the Goblin Serum. So he's trying to beat it, and she's trying to pay his medical bills. And what is it? Yeah, so she's working for Black Cat. At the end of the issue, she goes back to her bunker again.
Of course.
Our favorite place.
Yep, but sitting there is Mockingbird.
Oh no.
And
how does she know about the bunker?
She told her. Because the double twist is that Silk is working for Black Cat, but she's actually working for S.H.I.E.L.D. She's a double agent.
Double agent.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. And the reason...
So could S.H.I.E.L.D. just fund the hospital business?
Yeah, no. It's the government. They're not going to do that.
Fuck you.
Yeah, she's giving money basically to the government, and S.H.I.E.L.D's part of it, so like...
I feel like if you're a superhero and you need money, I feel like you just don't wear your superhero costume.
Well, all she has to
break
do...
into a bank.
All she has to do is like... I guess she can't ask Iron Man, because she doesn't know Iron Man. And Spider-Man and Iron Man weren't on good terms at this
is Norman
point.
Osborn a thing?
Yeah, but he's the one that runs the Goblin Nation. And like he doesn't have his own company anymore. He's actually underground. Like under New York running the Goblin Nation. And he's calling himself the Goblin King. He's gone full into it. He's like, it's always time to die now.
Always time to die.
So she's working for S.H.I.E.L.D. It's like Silk is playing like the long game. Because she's like, if I work for S.H.I.E.L.D., they can help me find the rest of my family. If I work for Black Cat, she can give me the money I need to help Albert get over his addiction. And if I keep working for J. Jonah Jameson, maybe I can find my family before S.H.I.E.L.D. does. So she's like spread herself out thin, right? Yeah. Now, okay, so here's the thing. I didn't drop this book for a while because I really wanted to get to the end of the story, but I really wanted to drop the book. Not because of the status quo. I like that Silk is playing both sides. I think that's cool. It makes her different from other Spider-Man characters. That she's like working with the bad guys and the S.H.I.E.L.D's government. Tana Ford takes over the rest of the book. It's never Stacey Lee again drawing it.
Oh.
So I'm hate reading it. Because I don't like the art, but I want to read the story.
What's her name? Tana Lee?
Tana Ford.
Tana Ford.
But yeah,
You mixed the two
I know, I noticed that.
Stacey Ford. Ford F-150. So it's tough because I want to get to the rest of the story, but it's drawn by and like she becomes the permanent artist. I don't know where they put Stacey Lee.
They threw her away.
Stacey Lee, she did the first 6 issues and then the first #1 of the next series, so like 7 issues.
So it looks like after that she moved on to the Unstoppable Wasp.
Okay, yeah.
And Spider-Verse.
Okay, so
she did put
it. They put it on other stuff. And it makes sense because Unstoppable Wasp was a new book when she got on.
She's done a lot of stuff.
Now that we know she wrote for Unstoppable Wasp, or she drew for Unstoppable Wasp, they might have just moved her to sell that book because it was a new book, you know?
She did do more Silk stuff.
What, way later?
Ford
she did Silk Volume 2, The Negative, 2016.
Okay, so yeah, she did the rest of the book.
Yeah.
The Robbie Thompson original run of Silk, it gets, renumbered after issue 7. The art changes for a very long time. Thankfully, though, I read far enough and I know enough to know how... because they leave Silk on a good note by the end of her story, right?
Yep.
So her parents, after Silk was put in a bunker, her parents went, they weren't scientists, but they wanted to find out how they could cure Silk's spider powers. And in the process of doing, paying people to do science, they met someone who was like, hey, listen, I can work on curing Silk's powers, but I need you to do something for me in exchange. So her parents were sent to another universe called the Negative Zone, where there was fantasy bullshit going on. There was dragons and stuff.
Bullshit.
Yeah, all that bullshit.
All that bullshit.
Yeah. Her parents basically became knights in this extra-dimensional war. Yeah, no. There's another reason I stopped reading this book, Bennett. So, basically the book ends with her getting her family back, getting her brother back. Everyone's cool, everyone's in a place together. They're all united again. That ghost guy who helped her fight the goblins, that's Hector. Yeah.
Oh.
Because during the period where...
Does he know that it's her, though?
I think he eventually finds out.
Okay.
At first he thinks Silk is just some character, but I think he finds out pretty quickly. But Hector, during the 10 years that Silk was in a bunker, Hector, was killed in, a supervillain fight. But
yeah, that's good.
He died and got powers. And the way it works is like, so he'll start turning into a ghost and fading away.
Yeah.
Unless he absorbs electricity. If he absorbs enough, he can stay like alive and solid for a while.
So he's Electro Ghost Rider.
He's like an electric vampire. He can only stay alive by using his powers every now and again. Which is why when she's out of the bunker, he's walking around with a fiance.
Okay.
So he's his own character, doing his own ghost stuff. By the end of the book, Silk like betrays Black Cat, starts working with S.H.I.E.L.D. more, and she's like, now that I have my family back, she goes to S.H.I.E.L.D. Academy to become an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. And it's like, that's what Silk's bag is now. Like, her origin, her family, all of that is wrapped up tight. Like, she's good now. And I think throughout her book, she deals with her anxiety by going to therapy and also by, like, getting her family back. Yeah, any questions, any comments about this story?
I like it. I do. Yeah. I mean, I'm not really big on comic books, but I did enjoy that story.
It's not Spider-Man.
No, but it's a Spider-Man character.
She's fake.
Well, yeah, she's a fictional character.
Whatever. Nobody
Macy's
asked
a misogynist.
Against women? Or against Spider-Women?
Against Spider-Women.
This is bull.
The thing is, I like Silk because she has very similar problems to Spider-Man, but they're still her own unique problems. Mm-hmm. Like, she's not just aimlessly fighting crime in New York because she's a superhero in a comic book. Like, she's actively looking for her parents. She's making these hard decisions to help her find her family. Like, working for crime bosses and S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff. And her anger, her anxiety, it's all very tangible subjects.
But is S.H.I.E.L.D. Hydra in this?
No.
Okay.
But...
So it's the correct S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. So, she has very tangible problems that make her feel different from other Spider-Man characters. And I do agree that, like, the only problem with Silk is the problem with a lot of Spider-Man characters where it's like, there's too many of you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You all have spider powers, you all have, like, variations of the Spider-Man costume. There's enough of you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. So Amazon is going to do... Well, not Amazon. Sony and... Sony and Amazon TV are going to do a Silk show. And we'll see what that looks like when it comes out. But
Do you know who's going to play her?
No. I mean, the smart thing would be to just use the MCU version of Silk, of Cindy Moon.
Yeah.
But it's Sony, so they're probably not going to do the smart thing.
Sony needs to just shut the fuck up.
Just shut up.
Just let the MCU do what it needs to.
Just take it back.
They know it will be good.
Yeah.
Because when they do their own stuff, and then the MCU does it better, no one really cares about the MCU stuff because we have the Sony shit. So it's like a bad taste. If they just gave everything to the MCU and let them do it, it'd be so much better.
Sony would still make money.
Exactly.
Because that's all they want.
But it's like it's good. Oh, I can't let MCU have this.
Yeah, it's like they're embarrassed to like admit that they can't do it as well as the MCU.
Because then if they do a Silk show or whatever and it's crappy, and then eventually we get her in the MCU. And then it's better, it's still going to be kind of like, ugh. You know?
It's like, well, of course it's better. The last
one... It's like
one...
the whole thing with Spider-Man, we already got it from Sony twice. The first one was okay, the second one was okay. The MCU did good. But then it's still like... And then
it's always going to be compared.
Exactly. You always have people fighting about, oh, no, this one better, this better Spider-Man. So
this Silk is the best Silk. Yeah.
Disney just needs to buy Sony.
Yeah, I'm sure that's next on their buy it list.
It has to be.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed reading Silk when it came out. Again, I really like Stacey Lee's art. That really sold it for me. And I don't know. I want to see her more stuff. I want to see her be an Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. That'd be cool. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this podcast, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. But yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you so much for listening. And yeah, have a good one.
See ya.
See ya later.
Losers.
Chumps.